Hello, Weekend Crafter. Welcome back to the Craft Time Studio. I'm Ange, your weekend crafter, and for this weekend, I'm doing something for summer. It's always cute to have a nice summer bag to bring along for trips, and that is the project that I will be sharing with you today. As with all my other projects, let's begin by wiping down the mat. I spray it with some alcohol and use a baby wipe to start with a clean slate. Let's begin by making a slab. For this summer slab, I'll be using a leaf cutter and a micro leaf cutter and a floral silicone mold. I also prepared the colors that I will be using for the slab. Next, I rolled out the main slab into the number 7 setting. I chose this dark navy blue hue that I got from mixing blue with some Sculpey Primo black with glitters. This will contrast well with the colors that I chose. Then, I got a square cutter and made indents on my slab. These indents will serve as my guide as I lay out the elements on the slab. Next, I get some green clay and roll them into thin logs. I use these logs as the stems and I place them all across the slab. Now that all the stems have been placed, it's time to make the other elements. I got the green clay and flattened it into the number 7 setting. Then I used my micro leaf cutters to cut small leaves. I set this aside for a while and then I got my orange clay and made orange fruit by rolling out small balls to place across the slab. Next, I get the yellow-orange clay and do the same. I don't really intend to make the balls even because as fruits go, some can be bigger than others. In some polymer clay groups, people ask if I use anything to stick the elements to the clay. When I make my slabs, as you can see, I don't use any liquid Sculpey unless I'm making 3D elements. I normally just place them on the clay. Pressing them down and texturing them also helps to make the elements stick I want to create some dimension to the oranges, so I make a thin snake and press it to the side of each orange. I also used my ball tool to flatten this out onto the fruit. It's a little bit of a hassle to add this detail, but I find that it makes the oranges pop. Next, I get the detail needle and texture the fruit. Finally, it's time to place the leaves. I punched out the smaller leaves earlier. Now it's time to punch the bigger leaves. I get the detail needle and trace the veins on each leaf. I used 2 shades of green to further add interest. For the final touch, I sprinkled some flowers across the slab. I used the silicone mold to make these very small flowers. If you haven't used silicone molds, I have a tutorial for that I will link above. Now it's time to cut the slab into tiles using the square cutter. I also punched it again using a soft plastic on top of the clay so that it gets curved edges. After that, I go in with a tissue blade to make sure that the sides are neat. After baking, these get sanded. Now it's time to assemble the pieces onto the bag. This bag was something that I got from a mooncake set that was given to me. I wanted to reuse it, but it still had the label of the hotel that it was bought from. So, the slab that I am using is to decorate this piece as well as to cover the hotel name on the bag. I measured from the top where to start placing the clay tiles, and then I just used washi tape to mark it out. Then I used craft glue to glue all the pieces together. As I've said in my previous video, the projects that interest me nowadays are a little bit more time consuming to make, which is the reason why it's taking more time to upload new content. Thank you for those who always tune into my channel. And if you haven't yet, I hope that you consider liking and subscribing to the Craft Time Studio for more of this content. Have a crafty weekend. Bye!